someone said to me and X, they said, someone put something on your wife. And he said, what? And she said, someone who rubbed her stomach put something on your baby.
The prophet told you that.
A prophet. And how about me and X at this time? Because now he's so like getting so famous that we were like, you know.
Segovia, back with another video. Hope everyone out there's having a good day, y'all. We got a good one coming up. I got the baby. He's put to sleep in the other room. Got the daddy cam on. I ain't gonna talk too much, y'all. We got to squeeze this video in quick. Enough with the chit chat. Let's do what we all came here for. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Would an 8-year-old need to be in school that long?
It's a real good question.
Doesn't make any sense. What are you teaching a 10-year-old in 8 hours? Like
that they're gonna remember.
Yeah, and also, I mean, like, you don't have to have recess. You don't have to have all these extra things. Like, you can shorten all this down, make it more streamlined, and have kids home. But it's just to prepare people for a 9 to 5, and so many parents. There's so many households that have both parents working, so it's like, well, it is kind of nice to not have a babysitter. You just send your kid to school and have your kid be a latchkey kid like I was.
Like I was too. Yeah.
There's just really crazy theory going on right now because Indeed and all these job search websites have thousands of jobs that say they're hiring, but everyone that's applying is not getting hired. And some guy actually did a test where they had hundreds of people fill out applications and no one hired them or got a call back. And so the running theory is that they're using all people's data and selling it to bigger companies. So when you send all your information in, like your first name, your last name, where you're located, your resume, where you've been, they're taking that information and selling it to bigger companies and holding on to it because right now data is the new gold. And that's kind of scary. What do you think?
There's gonna be businesses in 20 years where like people are gonna charge you to like take a walk with them. And you're gonna pay real fucking money for it. Literally my favorite businesses to look at this nanosecond are experiential in real life businesses. As we continue to scale the mapping of humanity digitally, the opportunity for real life is actually gonna become remarkably valuable.
I mean, I could see that happening, like people paying to have somebody walk with them like through the park or something. Because think about it. They already have like these so-called alpha wealthy men, right? That you can pay for them to call you and it's probably just a recording and just say some nonsense, right? Like some motivating stuff. And, people pay for that. So I could see that one day, we get so lonely that as a people that you pay somebody to walk to the park and talk with you. Could happen, y'all.
There seems to be some
dope
kind of strange relationship between
test
Israel and the U.S. where, I don't know, Israel now has the U.S. supplying weapons for its genocide. And what I'm told is that Israel wants some concept of greater Israel. I mean, I don't really know much about that.
Do you think the U.S. faces a threat from Iran?
No, I don't. No, I think that's absurd.
Yeah, Gaddafi was interesting because I didn't follow any politics for years because I was laser focused on fighting. And a couple years ago, I went down that rabbit hole. I started reading about him. He seemed like
he's a great,
he seemed like a pretty good. Yeah, he had all these free subsidies. It helped his
Everybody
people
had
out.
health care. Everybody had free education, including college. Everybody had housing.
Wow.
He created what they called the eighth wonder of the world, where he turned deserts into farmland. He did this water system, which we, by the way, then bombed with nuclear depleted uranium tip bombs. So now it's all poison. I mean, we are the world's terrorists.
Wasn't like one of the main reasons they went after him was because he was planning on doing something with changing from the dollar to gold or creating a new type of, revenue type of money in Africa or something. Isn't that what he was trying to do? And I don't remember what book I was reading, y'all, but there is a book that he went through all the major wars that America's kind of been in, Korea, Vietnam, like World War I, World War II. It all was because to do with oil, right? Money. That's where all these wars, I don't remember what book it was. I'm going to have to try to find out. But yeah, every war we went through had to do with oil and taking the oil off of the dollar, right? You don't use dollar like American money to exchange oil. That's where it all started, y'all. Don't quote me on that though.
Do you think they're still doing this stuff today?
Oh shit, yes. They're just more sophisticated about it.
What do you think it looks like today? What do you think? What kind of stuff what kind of tools do you think they're using today?
TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah,
I don't even think
you're right.
I leave.
No, it's a shame. We just heard about it just as we were walking in the doors of the Oval. Just heard about it. I guess people knew something was going to happen based on a little bit of the past. They've been fighting for a long time. You know, they've been fighting for many, many decades and centuries, actually, if you really think about it. No, I just hope it ends very quickly.
Stayed in this haunted house that was built on a graveyard and cemetery. And I was at the time, 4 or 5 years old. That was my first experience when I lived in this all brick house that was connected to another home that if you poked the hole through the wall, you could see the neighbors in the adjacent room. Few 100 square foot home, very, very, very small. So as a kid, we would always hear like people running upstairs, footsteps, and my parents would, ignore it. It's just a house creaking or whatever. And these footsteps would start to come down the stairs. You'd hear heavy footsteps just going around upstairs, and they start to go downstairs and they would stop. A few other times you would hear conversations, but like whispers or like staticky whispers on a radio station you couldn't tune into all the way. But the scariest, most traumatizing, if you want to call it that, experience that I've had, I was laying in bed, and to this day, I'm paranoid of sleeping on my back because of it. Laying in bed on my back, and something woke me up. And I see a soldier who, at the time, I had no idea what his uniform looked like. It was different than my dad's. I didn't find out later that it was like a old Civil War style uniform. And I see a soldier walk past my doorway. I rub my eyes, put the blankets over my head, rub them some more, and look back down. And now it's not just one, there's soldiers, a line of them, walking, and they would turn to go down the stairs into the main living room space. Maybe 10 soldiers passed by. The last soldier, he got in my doorway, turned, looked, and started to walk into my room towards me. Jumped out of my bed, ran through him, into the bathroom, curled up on the toilet, and started screaming. My dad runs out, and I'm screaming at him, please don't spank me, because that's what normally would happen. And he came in, grabbed me, held me, and I told him what I saw as best as I could, and he says, I know, son, I know. I saw it too. That was my first real ghost experience.
Whoa, he did see it too?
Yeah, well, to pass by, his room was to the left of my room. And yeah, so I guess they were coming out the wall in the hallway, walking past his door and my door before they went downstairs. And he saw it, I saw it, terrified me. And the looks of their clothes, never forget. The uniforms they wore the long gun with the musket, or not musket, but it had a long, not sword, but knife, bayonet at the tip of it. And they were marching with the little cap hats down the stairs. I had never seen that uniform a day in my life, and I won't forget it.
It's just a different world, y'all. Like we couldn't handle that here. We've never experienced it. I got comments saying, "Yeah, we couldn't." Like, hell no, the bombing like that, we'd lose it, y'all. Look at that. And there's nothing you can do. Just hope it don't hit your house.
I actually texted Shador because I know him very well, and I said, "Dude, like whatever happens, wherever you go, like that's your first day. Day 2 matters more than the draft." I was 199.
Yeah.
So who could speak on it better than me? Like what that really means. Use it as motivation. You're going to get your chances. Go take advantage of it. So
yeah, he was 199, but he wasn't a number 1 or number 2 pick coming out of the draft, right? They were even saying crap about him getting drafted 199. You know what I mean? So that's what's crazy is this dude he was expected to go either top 5, right? He was expected to go top 5. He dropped all the way to the 4th round. Now a lot of people are saying like that means his money is going to be, he's not going to get that first round draft pick type of contract. He's going to probably start off as a backup, which I think it helps. I think it helps, y'all. I think being a backup, like back in the day when you got drafted first overall or in the first round, sometimes you get fed to the wolves, right? But most of the time they go get a veteran quarterback and you sit behind them and watch them play for a season or so, right? And then you learn the game from the sidelines, and then you go in, right? And then you do dominate, right? But now in college, these kids are getting paid. So he was already a multi-millionaire before he even, he's Deion Sanders' son too. But, all these college kids now are making money. A lot of them ain't trying to come to the draft. They're like, we're going to stay another year in college. Money's good over here.
Everybody makes a big deal. When Kimmel came on my show and humiliated me on my own show, I let it happen. I didn't edit it. It was my mistake. I trusted somebody. I made a mistake. Okay, I should pay the price. And it's fine. It's fine. We could have edited it out of the show.
Why didn't you?
Well, because it happened. It's real. It happened. It's my mistake. That's how you learn.
Did you view it as a mistake, or is that good TV?
Well, it's not good TV for me because it started a whole thing that continues to this day, really. But it's okay. It's all right. I got, he's a comic. You do what you got to do. Okay. I wouldn't have done it, but that's okay. That's all right. It's okay. It is what it is. It's better than saying, spend the rest of my life. So what really happened on that show? You can take a look and see. So yeah, it's fine.
I'm going to name some cities. You tell me if they would make a good city for a GTA game. First one, Miami.
It's already been a city for GTA.
San Diego.
Hell no. Nah, San Diego's too small, too quaint.
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas could get cracking.
Dallas be all right.
That'd be a big map.
Seattle.
No, nah. GTA coffee?
No.
Chicago.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm amazed, frankly, that they haven't done Chicago.
Kansas City.
No, not really.
In the Picten region of Guatemala, they have just uncovered a discovery that will change the course of humanity forever. I don't know if you've heard about this, but here you can see them digging, and they come across the top of a pyramid here, and they're kind of speculators of like what it is. And as it gets deeper and deeper, the writing on it, I shouldn't call it writing. It's actually a type of Egyptian writing, an Egyptian petroglyphs, if you might call it that, but it's not quite Egyptian. The scientists are calling it a reformed Egyptian because it's a little bit different. But again, this is in Guatemala. This happened last week. These diggers are trying to show us what is on here. You can see now, look, here's some photos. It looks like some sort of sarcophagi under there, and then this pyramid next to it. And as they get closer, look at that. It looks like an alien being. They said that all the writing shows that it shows the word for cousin, and then it shows the word for sky. And so it's saying sky cousins. They're about to open the sarcophagi in part 2 of this video, and it is going to blow your mind, the type of bonage that they find in here and the fleshage that they find throughout the sarcophagi. But I will post that in part 2. First, I want to look at this. Doesn't that look like aliens? Again, this is like a reformed Egyptian, but it's showing aliens, and apparently it shows the history of the world, but not just for humanity, but for another species that has been living amongst us. Again, this is breaking news. It's going to change the course of humanity forever. I'm going to post in part 2 what we see in that sarcophagi, so it's going to blow your mind. That's all I can say. So buckle up and hold on to your seatbelts.
Who was addicted to water. I know, hard to imagine. So she had a very severe alcohol addiction. She got into recovery from that addiction and gave up alcohol, but she discovered that by drinking copious amounts of water, she could become hyponatremic, meaning that she could lower the sodium levels in her bloodstream, which would then lead her to become delirious. And so in her desire to just be checked out, she would drink large amounts of water.
She's doing okay?
No, sadly, she's not. She ended up taking her own life. So that was very sad.
But you said, how did he look?
Did they look stressed out?
He's definitely a lot thinner. Face is very pale. A lot of gray hair. Some black, but a lot of gray hair. You could tell he was nervous. And he said it in the courtroom. He had asked to go to the bathroom. He was like, excuse me, Judge, I'm a little bit nervous. But you could tell at one point in time I saw, and I was watching him very closely, I saw like his hand shaking a bit, but very involved. He's fighting for his, literally. Like, he came with like a case of paperwork. He was on the tablet sitting next to Brian Steele. He's reading every drawer profile as things are happening. Like when that man revealed that his wife was a part of that litigation team, he's reacting with his attorney.
I'm sorry, but is this tree fucking serious? That's actually the color of this tree. Are we... What?
Why are y'all saying final stream? Wait.
Quick rundown. My name is Ghazi. I'm the CEO of Empire. It's a record label, publisher, and a distribution company. I have the opportunity to work with this amazing gentleman here, and I'm really proud to make this connection. I always said I wanted to be in the streaming business, but now I get to be in the streaming business.
Like, I don't get it, y'all. I don't get it. This dude's making millions. I'm not going to say on his own, but like, why are you going to go sign a contract? I don't get it. Like, I don't know if maybe, you know, there's a video. We'll try to remember to put it on tomorrow's video of Nori, a rapper from the 90s, you know, saying there's a door when you get to a certain level, when you get to, you know, 10,000 a show, like there's a door that they introduce you to. And, you know, if you go straight, good luck. You know, you made it this far. Let's see if you continue to make it that far. And he said, I haven't been platinum since then. You know what I mean? So maybe he's at that door and they're saying, you know, you got to this level because such and such fed this algorithm and put you out there. If you don't sign this contract, you know, we'll see if it's really you or not. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Because who would want to sign a contract with somebody where you're going to be told what to do? You know, you're going to have no freedom. You got to come to this, you know, place to make an appearance. You know, you don't have a choice. I don't care if you're sick or not. Like, who would want to do that when you're already making millions? Like, do you really need to make that much more money? Like, really? I don't know, y'all. What do you guys think with that? I think that's crazy, signing a contract after, you know, how successful he is with this streaming stuff.
In and out of New Orleans, y'all don't know what's going on. So, y'all, I'm from New York, but my whole family's from the Caribbean. So I have a lot of friends and family that's in New Orleans because it's very similar cultures. So I see a lot of people talking about the vampires in New Orleans, and I'm kind of shocked that people don't know about this. Y'all already know there's vampires in New Orleans? So yes, there are vampires in the French Quarter, Bourbon
He's
Street.
moving.
Be careful. Be careful.
I've been wanting to try this place for so long. It's
that's a great
so
spot.
good.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What is that you do?
Oh, I'm an accountant.
No, I mean like the weird voice thing.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm possessed.
Sorry?
Is that a problem? I swear to God, I'm like super normal besides that.
Oh, that's fine. Yo, what?
Sorry, what did you order?
Okay, so I just found this bug in my rug and I killed it, and it came from right here. So I grabbed some gloves and I just want to rake my hands through.
Good job.
Oh my gosh, if there's any more in here, I'm gonna lose my mind. So I'm just gonna do this real quick. Here we go.
I have a question about T-Rex. I'm already positive it doesn't look like what we thought it looked like, but here's a big question. A horse skull looks like this, yet the majestic horse, it looks like this. And a dog skull, more carnivorous looking, but the dog looks like this, it has jowls. So why do we see this on the T-Rex and other carnivorous dinosaurs? Assume it looks like this. Why can't the T-Rex have jowls? Why didn't he look like this? That makes a lot more sense to me. Food for thought.
You've been in some pretty dope-ass films, man. Blood In, Blood Out, Mi Familia, Aaron Brockovich, Blood In, Blood Out. Did you think that was gonna be such a big movie?
No, that's who you're competing against. So your shit better be good. And here's the other thing. As a Latino actor, you're not gonna get as many swings. That's just the way it is. You ain't
It
gonna
sucks,
get as
but
many
it's the
swings.
reality.
So when you get up there,
You gotta hit a bomb.
You better do good.
You could tell just by looking
Yep.
at it. What is this right here?
Two of spades.
Jesus Christ. How?
What's this one? Queen of Hearts.
How about this one here?
3 of diamonds. But you know, I'm gonna show. But after, I'll give you a little hint.
After the show,
not,
I'm telling everybody. I'm gonna get on Instagram.
You're gonna. No, you're not. You absolutely won't.
I have a friend who used to work for intelligence agency, and he was working in Russia, and they found that the building was bugged with these super sophisticated bugs that operated. Their power came from the swaying of the building, just like your watch. Like I have a mechanical watch on, so when I move my watch, it powers up the spring and it keeps the watch. That's how an automatic mechanical watch works. They figured out a way to, just by the subtle swaying of the building in the wind, that was what was powering this listening device.
If you're out in the woods and think you're alone and you hear this, you're not. Depending upon your location, you'll either have crows or ravens around you. They're some of the most intelligent birds out there, and they're very vocal when they see something that bothers them. And so if you're out here and you hear off in the distance some crows or ravens alarming, then they're seeing something they don't like. It might be a bobcat, it might be a fox. If you want to go take photos, go take photos. If it's somebody, you need to be aware that somebody might be out there with you. So listen to the crows and ravens. They're very good at alarming.
She's a big fan.
Charlie Sheen's still going through it, yo.
Jaden.
Yeah, I'm Charlie.
Nice to meet you. Cool, man.
Hi, Smitty. How are you? Good, how are you? What's your name?
Or is this old?
Tamara? Hi. Hi. Awesome.
You're rad, man.
You guys are in a fight.
No, we're not fighting. What's up with that tattoo? Let me see that tattoo.
Which one?
That one right here. Hell yeah.
That's Hollywood.
The lions are so much more successful like the wolves that the wolves just become somewhat lazy, and they'll get in these little packs and they'll literally find a big tom and they'll just follow him. And so what this cat is doing is scientists have observed him deer, and he'll literally cache deer and sheep so that when the wolves find his caches, the wolves will eat, and so then he can go and eat in peace himself.
Wow, so he doesn't get fucked with by the wolves.
Yeah.
So he's literally doing that while you're chasing him, saying, look, just eat this, leave me the fuck alone.
Look how nasty this Chipotle looks. I don't think I
that's disgusting.
Look at them beans. Black has been sitting there all day. No.
Yeah, that looks like a terrible Chipotle, right? Chipotle, I should say. That looks dirty. I don't know about Chipotle. I mean, it's good. But man, you go get a steak bowl, you might as well just say, you know what, I just want a rice and bean bowl, because they don't give you no meat, y'all, and you're paying top dollar for that.
It's gonna be a no for me.
When people say thank you, it used to be an automatic to get you're welcome. Right. Or my pleasure. And now it's a look that's like, why are you talking to me? Or it's a no problem. Well, that's about as thoughtful as nothing. No problem means, oh, so if it was a problem, I would have said, oh, it was a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem.
You know what's crazy about this whole thing? Think about India and Pakistan, right? Imagine who's the last country you would think in the Middle East to say, hey guys, you got to pump the brakes and find a way to control and exercise restraint. What is the last country in the Middle East that you think would say that to India and Pakistan? You ready? Iran. Iran's foreign minister urging both nations to exercise restraint. Can you make how weird that it's like a criminal that's killed 29 people, gone to jail, he's killed a bunch of your guys, like, look, man, you don't need to do this. This isn't the right thing to do. Bro, what are you talking about? Iran's telling them, don't fight. Even the UN Security Council discussing the issue and calling for de-escalation and dialogue. Everybody is concerned that this could get nasty.
So when you open a restaurant, the first person that knocks on your door will not be a customer. It'll be someone from Coca-Cola, and they will be offering you a free fridge. But is it a free fridge? They basically give all of their fridges out, and then what they insist is that you only buy their products for the fridge, and then you can have like one row for anything that you pick. And that's how they just maintain dominance in the industry.
Dude, have you seen Simon Cowell recently? Yeah, what's going on with him?
Rich know that the poor don't. Well, the rich know that inflation makes them rich, but it makes the broke broke. People think the rich get richer because the rich are evil, but the rich get richer because they own assets and inflation pushes assets up, whereas poor people only have a few bits of savings and money goes down with inflation, so they know how money really works.
You go on Facebook now, and I see people I used to hang with in California, and they're talking about other people. Everybody's so talented, and everything's so gracious. And to work with such a great bunch of talented individuals, thank God they let my creative juices work. Shut the fuck up.
Finally,
Shut the fuck up.
someone
What are you
says it.
talking about? I need to smack you now or smack you later.
Right? If you look at like the evolution of things like Instagram and Facebook, if you go back 10, 15, 20 years ago, right, it was like text. Then we all got phones with cameras. Most of the content became photos. Then the mobile networks got good enough that you know, if you wanted to watch a video on your phone, it wasn't just like buffering. So that got good. So over the last like 10 years, most of the content has moved, you know, basically towards video at this point. Most of the time spent in Facebook and Instagram is video. But like, I don't know, do you think in 5 years, we're just going to be like sitting in our feed and consuming media that's video? It's like, no, it's going to be interactive, right? It's like you'll be scrolling through your feed and there will be content that is basically, I don't know, maybe it looks like a reel to start, but then like you talk to it or you interact with it and it talks back or it changes what it's doing, or you can jump into it like a game and interact with it. And that's all going to be like AI. So I guess my point is there's just all these different things. And I guess we're ambitious, so we're working on a bunch of them. But I don't think any one company is going to do all of it.
I tell y'all what ain't worth a fuck is the housing market. $250,000 for a piece of shit. We bought a house, but when we were looking, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, piece of shit, $250,000. That ain't no shit. $250,000. They want you to live in a fucking life hazard. People are like, I know what I got. I know what you got too. A piece of shit. Needs a lot of work. I'm telling y'all, be better off just fucking living in Section 8 or in a cardboard box on the side of the road. I ain't bullshitting you. Housing market's a fucking joke. Everybody out here selling this junk, everybody buying it. Buying the fuck out of it. First time homeowners, yeah, you're gonna have fucking lifetime problems. I'm telling you. You want to talk about a money pit? People say a boat's a money pit, a truck's a money pit, a fucking house is a money pit. Okay? I'm serious. I bought my house and I've already dumped over $30,000 into it in less than a year. Money motherfucking pit, okay?
And it looked more and more to me like they had been experimenting on the staff at these ranches. And one of them was Chris Bartell.
Now, back to that house, like, is there areas where you don't have to get an inspection done? Like, I know every house I ever got, you got to get an inspection done. And if there's problems with it, you tell the seller, this needs to be fixed, or we can't get a loan, pretty much, right? Their realtors say, hey, you can't, you know, sell this house unless you get this fixed. Like, no one's going to qualify for a loan. But there's those companies that come, BlackRock, Vanguard, come buy it cash. I don't care what's wrong with the house. Don't worry about it. Here's cash, right? As is. There's some houses that are as is, but that's a red flag to me. Someone trying to sell their house as is. I won't do business with that house. You always got to get an inspection. Baby's falling asleep again. That's chilling. Got a full belly. Window that's not broken.
Everything's gonna be okay. We're getting officers out there. Okay. They're gonna see the officers on the side. He's flying in a helicopter. Do you think he's in a helicopter? Yes.
Convenient. The
So I just checked into Mandalay Bay, and I'm on the 21st floor, and I just heard what sounded like a explosion above me, and then glass coming down around me, or right outside the window.
Hey.
So now, let's go. Because you know I ain't biased and I don't be trying to be hating on niggas. Now, this nigga had 2 federal cases, right or wrong?
Yes.
So is
the
both
drug
of them over?
case and the gun case.
So is both of them done?
I believe so. Yeah.
How the fuck did he only do a year or two for a federal gun charge, and they supposed to gave him 2-3 years for the drugs and shit like that? Like, how did that happen? How, like,
do you know who his lawyer is?
No.
Drew Finley.
That's crazy.
We're ready for that one, were you?
No further questions, Vlad. No further.
Someone who worked for you as well.
Because that nigga's nice, I get it, but it's like with the shit down in with the video when they got caught, like they fingerprints was on the guns, they dropped guns on the scene, whatever, boom. Then you got another federal charge for the drugs and shit like that. It just didn't make sense. I was just like, realistically, I just know like how time work and shit like that. Like he was supposed to at least did a nickel or something like that. Like, so what he just do? A year and a half, 2 years?
About 2 years, yeah.
Like, for guns and just so for 2 different charges. I guess if that's
like, this is the annoying thing about that Amazon tariff thing, right? Is that they're going, hey, things are more expensive because of these tariffs, so we're going to show this tariff price so you don't think it's us. Okay. Well, you never posted like the cost of making the good for you and then what you charge.
No, that's that. Now you're talking. Now.
Because
they're not going to tell you that it costs $3 to make in China.
Exactly. So it's like, that's why on some level I get the Trump administration be like, nah, don't do this fuck shit. You were making this, you were charging 300% more for this item, and now that they're the tariffs, you want to blame it on us? You guys were gouging like a motherfucker before. Stop using this as an excuse.
It's not that Amazon was gouging. It's just that these corporations here in America are gouging. You go to these other countries, you get shit made for $2, $3, and come over here and sell it to us for $100.
They did that with the bags. Remember when China came out, the beginning of the tariffs, where all these luxury goods, right, where they told us that they were hand sewn inside, mom and pop factories in France, and then China was like, they're sewn by machines over here in China, and then we're sending them around. You're just charging $5,000 for a fucking bag.
That's how people first came into America, that they migrated by land across the Bering Straits. You're up there in Alaska, and you've got what are now the Bering Straits between Alaska and Siberia, but those were not oceanic straits during the Ice Age. They were a land bridge. Why? Because sea level was 400 feet lower during the Ice Age than it is today. Why was sea level 400 feet lower? Because a huge amount of water had been taken out of the world oceans and had fallen on frozen areas and had turned into ice. North American ice cap was up to 3 kilometers deep at that point. Naturally, sea level was lower. All that water wasn't in the sea, it was on the ice caps. The idea was that during the Ice Age, when the Bering Straits were a land bridge, that's how people first came into America, that they migrated by land across the Bering Straits. They happened to find an ice-free corridor through that massive ice cap, and they made their way slowly down into North America, thence into Central America, thence into South America.
Watch, he's about to say Canada will never be for sale. Watch Trump's face.
It's not for sale, won't be for sale ever. But the opportunity
well,
in the partnership.
This nigga funny, bro.
Please fucking tell me how nobody else is talking about AGI. Nobody. I have friends in very high up places. Very, very high up places, okay? Not connected to one another. To give you perspective, one of my friends has had lunch with practically every president, okay? Very good friends with directors of 3-letter agencies. The other one is training these agencies, okay? Both give me a phone call the other day and they go, hey, buddy. I'm like, what's up? They're like, how are you? I'm like, I'm good. What's up? Oh, we're here to ruin your day, Marcel, because we think AGI is going to be done in 6 months. AI safety is so shit that if AGI comes out in 6 months, let me paint a picture for you, baby. Let me tell you what's going to happen. Power grid goes out. Pentagon predicts 94% of the population dead if the power grid goes out within 30 days. Now, let's just say you're part of the 6%. You live on a farm or some shit. AI, and this is fucking Grok. Go talk to Grok AI and ask it what would happen in this scenario, okay? Grok AI says it would literally use our drones, our fucking missiles, nukes, whatever the fuck it wants. Think about Terminator, okay? Judgment Day, 2029. This is happening before then. It's crazy. We're all gonna get and there's only one way to fix this. Everybody talks about it and slows these goddamn companies down. They're racing against one another to end the fucking world. Please share this. It's not even a fucking joke.
What's something about the Detroit Zoo that people don't know that only workers know?
The animals don't wake up till y'all leave. The animals don't wake up till you leave. Animals are nocturnal, so y'all go in there. Oh, the polar bear sleep, the lion sleep. I want my money back. It's the daytime. When have you seen lions just up and around? You think this Africa? No, it ain't Africa. The animals is asleep.
Yes.
They don't wake up till y'all leave. So by the time the zoo closed about 5, 6, that's when they waking up, and I get all the good views.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, every time I go, the lions are sleeping, bro.
See, I'm telling you, you got to go at night when they throw events at night. They throw events at night. F them. I ain't plugging them. They throw events at night, though. You got to tap into their website, and that's when you want to go to the zoo.
Are they treated well? Are the animals treated well at zoos?
100%. It's treated as well as your house cat, you know?
Cool.
They just live in captivity, but that don't mean they ain't getting no love, you know?
And they're in captivity because they're kind of like rescues, normally, right?
That's not my department. I don't know.
You don't know that?
I was cleaning shit up not shit, but I was cleaning up like, restrooms and just like paper. And I was walking around with the broom and dustpan.
What happened after the?
Here we are.
Yeah, screw this hotel.
Oh, it's
Looks like a scary movie.
and more. Well, you, Harley, what do you think? It is world famous. It's world famous.
I finally understand why Switzerland is neutral on every problem. Because look at this.
Look at that. Beautiful.
Why the fuck would you care about a single thing happening?
Yep.
When you got this? I'll be neutral as shit all day. I'll be a Swiss. I'll be whatever. Look at this. Unbelievable. One more time.
Yeah, that's nice. They got good chocolate.
You heard of Lil Jeff?
Who?
Lil Jeff.
Who is that nigga?
From Chicago.
Yeah, I ain't never heard of him.
Bloodhound Q50. They like the new up and coming rappers from Chicago.
Yeah, King Von left such big shoes for them niggas to fill. We'll never know who them niggas is. They just rap in trouble. Yeah, they ain't got no music that'll make it to the airways. They just some troublesome young kids that got some beats that make people tune in from the local areas. But nah, nigga, King Von and Lil Durk was the reigning kings of Chicago. And since the fall of them niggas, it's over with for Chicago.
I would not feel comfortable getting on an airplane during this time period. People are messaging me all the time, like, when is it safe to get on a plane? And I'm like, listen, the energy's still chaotic. Right now, things are kind of unpredictable, especially come to some of the like big shifts that are gonna happen this summer in the astrology. What I'm doing is I'm reading the energy, right? And I'm saying when this energy has happened, that's what's happened historically in the past. Like, this is my prediction based on what I'm seeing. There's different ways things can manifest in reality. I personally don't feel comfortable traveling.
That's why you drove here.
There's going to be increased disruption with technology, with how we're getting technology with our GPS systems, with air traffic control. We're already seeing it play out. This isn't ending anytime soon. When there's disruption, even in like satellites and tech stuff, that is going to affect planes, cars, all the chips we have in our cars.
Electric cars.
Yeah, electric cars especially.
I know how much it costs to take a record top 40, and it doesn't have to be a good record. And if I had the money, I could take any single record I want and put it in the top 40. Today. It costs a certain amount, but you have to hire indies, and you got to pay them, and they'll get your record into the top 40.
How much does that cost?
For urban mainstream, $50,000.
Okay.
Your record's in the top 40. Another $25,000, you're getting into the top 20.
Mm-hmm.
Now it comes down to research. Now the record has to be good enough for it to continue moving up the chart.
What is he thinking about?
The first basketball that Spalding made. That's crazy. 126 years ago. Got the lace like a football because in the original rules of basketball there was no dribbling. Everything was a pass.
He's gonna let me dunk it. So I get one chance. Hey!
Oh my God, what is that?
Looks like Alien vs. Predator.
Oh my God, what is that?
Look at that, y'all.
There was never a population of people who called themselves the Aztecs. They called themselves the Mexica, M-E-X-I-C-A, which looks shockingly like Mexico because that's where we get the word Mexico from. They said they were from Aztlan, and what happened was, about 150 years ago, anthropologists in some Ivy League school in the northeastern part of the United States decided They were sick of writing Mexica and then talking about Mexican society, and they couldn't differentiate then between pre-Columbian Mexico and post-Columbian Mexico, and so they came up with a new term.
It's Red Lobster's new lunch special. Shrimp and chicken, just $3.99. Golden fried shrimp and grilled chicken breast with salad and baked potato, just $3.99.
Just take a second to look at that. Look at that. Get some nice shrimp. I'm sure you can tell him you want it grilled for an extra $1 instead of fried. Nice baked potato, salad, chicken. $4, y'all. $4. That'll never, in our lifetime, or ever, come back. I bet that meal at Red Lobster's 17, 18 bucks.
For a limited time at Red Lobster for lunch.
Shannon Sharpe is really getting fucked up for putting out that shit with Cat Williams. If they had to wait for the attack, right? So you got to watch out, because even with me, they tell me what to put out, and I don't listen to them. They control what you put out. So he fucked up when he put that out. Somebody should have told him that. But he think it's good.
That make a lot of sense.
No,
too,
it's the
man.
truth. That's what I'm on.
It really
But they wait to get you. But he dumb as a motherfucker, because he already knew, right? Look at Cat Williams. He ain't did shit since. Right? So everybody know the cost of this, but yet they still do it, right?
It makes a lot of sense, man.
They did to the money game.
Let me tell you the 4 things you should never bring into your house. I don't care if you go out once in a while and treat yourself, but the 4 things that should never enter the front door of your house. Number 1, processed meats. We know that they are associated with cancer. Number 2, sugar-sweetened beverages like fruit juices and Coca-Colas and Mountain Dews. It's number 1 source of refined sugar in the American diet. Third thing you should never have in your house, salty snacks. We know that they're most associated with obesity. And the final thing is packaged sweets, also highly associated with obesity. If you want to enjoy these things, go out and get them. Just don't have them tempting you all the time in your house, and we'll see you when you're 100.
That's what I do, y'all. I have a terrible chip habit. I don't keep them in the house. I keep pork rinds. That's it. But chips, I get them. I eat them. What I don't eat gets thrown away. Because guess what? If they stay in my cabinet, guess what's for breakfast or lunch? You know what I mean? So when I'm done with them, they go in the trash. You call it wasting, whatever. Or Mama Bear will take it over to her family's house, whatever. But I always learn, don't keep that in the house. You can't.
Like McDonald's, in fact, they use downer cows. I don't know if you know what a downer cow. I used to work on farms in New Zealand. You know, my first business was the modern farm system is so bad for animals. Okay, that milk cow specifically, they push them so hard to produce milk, the cow just basically starts. It's almost like fainting. They can't stand up. Their bottom legs come out from under them, and you call them downer cows. So eventually, you have to they with a bolt. And McDonald's, you getting that downer cows, boy.
Do you have any idea who shot Suge?
I'm pretty sure Suge knows who shot Suge. But if the police say nobody shot him, I believe nobody shot him. And if nobody shot him, that's the same nobody that shot Tupac. And if nobody shot Tupac, it's the same nobody that shot MLK. And if nobody shot him, that's the same person that shot Malcolm X too. It's a lot of nobodies out there, and nobody minds if nobody comes up missing, right? That don't bother nobody, does it? Certainly doesn't bother me.
Holy shit, y'all, I just figured something out. So put in your search bar, blue rain in Texas. That's happened over the last couple of days. I'm literally 3.5 hours to 4 hours from Houston, which reports are coming out of that area. And the rain is supposed to be here tomorrow. So I'm putting some buckets out tonight. We're gonna catch this rain. We're gonna see how blue it really is. Because over the last couple of days, I noticed down here, the wind's been very strange, very heavy. And there's been some sea trails in the air all over the sky. So whatever they doing, we about to find out. Because if that blue rain that just fell in Texas is coming here to Louisiana, and you here in Louisiana, hey, let's find out what the fuck's up with this shit, and we find out what the real deal is.
It's
you know,
the
becoming a
one right there.
homeowner really makes you realize who's got money.
Yeah,
you start to go $30, $30, $30, $30, $30, $30, $30, $60, $60, $60, $60, $60, $60, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, and you start to realize, holy cow, that dude is rich to be paying for all of those.
Yeah, those are
Someone
expensive.
said to me in X, they said, someone put something on your wife. And he said, what? And she said, someone who rubbed her stomach put something on your baby.
The prophet told you that.
A prophet. And how about me and X at this time? Because now he's so like getting so famous that we were like, you know, we're gonna keep shit to ourselves. And so no one knew about this. Nobody even knew. No.
Wow.
And we were like, what happened? And she said, the next time that she's pregnant, don't ever let someone touch her stomach. Wow. And we were like, this was the first intro to devil, demonic stuff. Like, we were like, why would somebody do that though? Like, why? Like, and she said, listen, y'all need to be covered and protected because you are reaching a level where God is taking you that you need to be covered and protected.
Wow. You know, that happened to my sister when she was little, right? I remember the story that, you know, there's a thing, I don't remember what it's called in like Mexican culture, but, you know, kind of like the stink eye, like somebody staring at your kid for too long, you're supposed to have them touch your kid. Like, and I guess something happened to my sister where she just wouldn't stop crying all day, all night, kept crying. My dad's mom, my grandma, I never got to meet. She came over and put an egg under her pillow. And in the morning, it was hard boiled. And then, you know, she wasn't crying no more, you know, out of the normal. So, you know, I believe in those things that they happen. And that's pretty crazy that, you know, I get nervous with taking him out, you know, because especially where I'm at now, like we're right here by it. There's crazy things out there in Mexican culture. Like it's in all cultures, but I know a lot of crazy things happen in Mexico, but that's pretty crazy. I've had a similar story to that in my family.
If war breaks out between Pakistan and India, the following countries are likely to support Pakistan. China, as a close ally and strategic partner, would likely provide advanced weapons, satellite intelligence, and economic support. Turkey might contribute military drones, training, and firm political backing. Saudi Arabia could offer financial assistance and vital energy resources. Qatar may support through logistics, media influence, and discreet diplomacy. Iran, while publicly neutral, might quietly assist through border coordination and intelligence sharing. In the end, we hope peace prevails.
What's happening in India and Pakistan? It was all predicted. Wait, come right back. It's going to blow your mind after you see this. So if you didn't know, things are about to get nuclear over there if they are not already. Allegedly, I don't know, it's my opinion, okay? And I can't show you guys any other videos because they're too graphic, and believe me, you don't want to see it anyways. In 2019, there was a simulation that was ran, and it showed that possibly in the year 2025, in May of 2025, that these two people were going to battle it out, and it was going to maybe get that word right there. Now, what do we know about simulations in a couple years later? By the way, the Economic Times, verified source. But this is absolutely insane because, yeah, you guessed it, the 2025 Doomsday Map posted by Forbes and other articles of what was believed to happen in the year 2025, along with the Dago report that went to the archive so you couldn't find it, but you could still find it. All three things you just saw, 2025, shown years in advance. See TikTok, following the rules, no graphic, nothing. And to top it off, last week I was at the beach and all these military copters started going by and I was like, something is going down. But I wasn't sure, so I didn't post anything about it. And I had been to this beach 100 times and never have I seen this. And at the same time, I started seeing other videos of the same thing happening in different states. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff. What do y'all think about the simulation? Let me know below.
Yeah, I'm going to the car wash after that. It's crazy.
What was the most dangerous situation that you've been in?
Getting raided by the Mexican police. There was this guy that went by the name of Hostage. We had an interview set up, and the night before, we're sitting in the Airbnb, and he's like, I don't know if this is a good idea, man. I'm wanted. I'm like, wanted by who? It's like, the government. I'm like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this interview early and quick. So we cross the border. Mexican police trucks are patrolling, and everywhere we look, people are outside. They notice us, and they're like, what are these guys doing here? So we walk into Hostage's homie's house. Things are really good. He's a very interesting guy. I go to the bathroom. Boom. Piso la verga. verga, no, piece of la verga. Basically, get your ass on the ground. 3 Mexican police come in, masks on, hand on the trigger, rifles pointed at us. The Mexican guys in the room immediately go on the ground, on the stomach, surrendering. I went on my knees because if something's gonna happen, I at least want to be able to see what's going on. Because there's a lot of police in Mexico that have a terrible reputation. They take his guy Borrega up the stairs and they start beating him and they search the entire house and they find no drugs. I know a little bit of Spanish. I broke the ice with the police a little bit. I made a few jokes, got them laughing a little bit, and just told them what I'm here for. And so we were let back up to our feet, and they're like, okay, where's the camera? And they start watching the clips that we had. But he's like, okay, good. Delete this clip, delete this clip. And we're like, no, sir, please. He's like, no, delete the clip. So we had to delete the 2 clips in front of him. We were able to retrieve one of them. That was probably the scariest moment so far.
Those weren't cops. Cops ain't gonna go get some high-level drug dealer with 3 cops, y'all. They went in there and robbed his ass. Had to bring the baby in here, y'all. Can you see him? He was acting up. Got him in the bouncer. He loves the colors on the wall. We got to finish. We got 10 more minutes. This video.
Goodwill, if I'm shopping at your store, I probably can't afford to buy things for the full price. So when I go and I find a bookshelf that I really like and you're selling it for $50 fucking dollars, I could have just bought it at the store. You got that item for free. Why is it $50?
So I just stopped at the Goodwill and I found this map. It's a pretty sweet map. It says it's a map of Europe. But what does this say? Or what does that say right there? Okay.
As a retired federal agent who spent many nights in hotel rooms, let's talk about hotel safety for 1 minute. So when you're checking into Hotel X in room Y, don't just blindly walk in. Don't be paranoid. We talk about this all the time when we're in public. Our phones are in our pocket, which means they're down, and our heads are up. We're not trying to be some ninja and be weird. We're just going to come in and we're going to try to check behind us as we come in and do like that. Because if we just blindly walk into the room, some ding dong could follow us, and I know you know that. When we get into the room, the first thing I do is a little bit of a super freak. So I check all the things, open the bathroom. If I can check under the bed, I check under the bed. I check behind the curtains. I do all those things. Then we come over here to the door to secure the door before going to bed. I've already put the towel in here because it's kind of hard to jam in a little bit. So we're gonna get the hand towel, not a washcloth. We're gonna put that bad boy here, and then we're gonna wrap it twice. Okay. We're gonna put that bad boy in here. We're gonna pull it as tight as we can get it. It doesn't have to be pretty. We're gonna jam it in there, and we're gonna jam it just like that. And we want it over here toward the fat part, not toward the other end. So when it opens, it's not foolproof, but it's better than that.
Lock your doors. Lock your doors. If you're gonna go check the mail, go water your plants in the front yard, throw out the trash, lock the door. The USA loves to breed serial killers. And apparently there's one on the loose in North Hollywood. So lock your doors. Take your keys with you. It might take an extra 30 seconds to go back and unlock it, but it's worth it.
You know, that's true, y'all. Sometimes I catch myself like going to check the mail real quick. I'm home alone, right? No baby, no woman home. And, you know, I'll leave because I take a like electric scooter. I have like a e-bike, a e-scooter. I'll take it to check the mail and come back. But I don't got a garage door open on me, so I just leave the garage open. But I did that yesterday. And I was getting these clips and I saw it and we were about to go to bed. So my paranoia kind of kicked in. You know, I came and cleared the house. I looked in behind the shower curtains. I looked in all the closets and all the rooms because that's true, y'all. You never know. Even though I got cameras out there that give me warnings when someone's stepping around my place, but still I had to clear the house. And that just made me wake up a little more like, you know, I got to do better because it's not just me living here no more, right? I got a woman, I got a baby, and also I got my dogs down there. So that kind of gave me peace of mind because I know if I would have came home, then dogs would have been going crazy, like pacing back and forth, like something's up. Someone's in here that ain't supposed to be in here. But still, I could get better at, you know, locking the door, taking the key with me and doing all that. Even though I was only gone for like 2 or 3 minutes, quick ride to the mailbox, fill up my bag and come back. I had to go clear the house because we were about to go to bed. And I was like, you know, I don't want to wake up to, you know what I mean? So yeah, lock your doors, y'all. Practice what I preach. I need to start locking my doors more. Ain't that right, baby? Yeah, that ain't no bird. Is that like a Like an ocean, like a seagull?
10% power. 20% power. 30% power.
Ooh, it's getting close.
40% power. 69% power.
Oops.
They put this in Xanax. They put this in Adderall. They put this in Molly, the date drug or the party drug, something called Molly. They put it in cocaine, and they put it in marijuana. And it is to get you so highly addicted that you can't get off it.
And they also put it in our foods, in our alcohol, and our fast foods to get us highly addicted so we can't get off of it.
Back to those type of entities, they were your classic alien, gray-shaped, cat-like. No, they weren't. Okay.
They were a form of human being.
They were a form of human being.
Right.
Did they have cat-like or Cheshire-like eyes?
They had larger eyes than ours, smaller nose, and smaller mouth. No protruding part of the ear and no hair.
So
but people.
Nothing like these classic grays you see your Whitley Strieber's.
I don't know. I've never seen those. I don't know what they're talking about.
Sure, okay. There was a leader.
We gave them different names to identify. Now, I don't know if he was a leader or the interpreter, but we called him the leader. And then there was the one who did the testing. We called him the examiner. There were 9 others who stayed out in the corridor, and we called them the crew members.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're on board. What do you remember what you saw when you entered the craft? Did something must have taken you aback, saying this is amazing, or what type of craft am I inside? Can you describe as to what you collectively remember?
Went in to a corridor, and then I was taken into a room, and I had to step up because the level of the floor was above the corridor, and it was an oval-shaped door like we would see on a ship.
I don't even know who that is. That's crazy. That's Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart is 83 years old. Do you think The Substance is a documentary? Look at how not just beautiful she is, she's hot.
And I must say, of all the mommies that I've been with,
you the finest.
There's a clip of me and Martha on her show.
You the finest.
This was 18 years ago.
Please welcome Jamie Kennedy.
Oh, that's funny. You the finest.
That's not the same woman. I mean, she looks amazing, but there's something going on in
crazy.
The town, and people are getting younger and younger. Something's going on.
We seriously need to talk about our weather and what is coming down in this rain. I recently shared with you blue rain out of California, which then multiple people started posting blue rain in other parts of the United States, specifically Texas. On May 6, 2025, this witness by the name of Callie noticed that it was raining like normal. It's Texas weather. But what she found outside is what is causing a cause for alarm. She found this jelly-like substance all over the ground. She initially thought it was ice, and when she went to go touch it and inspect it, it's actually this jelly substance, and it's all over her yard and her home. What could have caused this? Like I said before, this has happened before, and the whole town up in Oregon got sick. Take a look at this footage and tell me what you think.
pissed because he lied to me about Epstein. Yeah. No, I knew he saw him, but he lied to me that he was such a close friend. I was so mad. And then I did
Hot
a
mic.
big thing in the Daily Mail saying that I believed Andrew, and then I found out he was lying. I was so pissed. No, that he was f***ing underage girls.
Now, our newsroom has some concerns about where this investigation is headed and who may be implicated. But our only motivation in doing these stories is the public's right to know. And if this report and our subsequent reports shine a light into darkness and expose evil, then we are willing to take the risks. At the end of the day, child victims of Jeffrey Epstein need to be protected, and the people involved need to be held accountable by law enforcement immediately. Without accountability, our notion of freedom is just an illusion. We're going to be breaking our next stories exclusively at O'KeefeMediaGroup.com. You may see this Project Veritas sign behind me. Stay tuned for next week.
What messes kids up the most according to the data? Like, for example, if you can avoid doing this one thing to your kid, what is it?
Okay, so look, there are a few things that are really important for kids when they are little. Having a stable place to sleep, having enough to eat, having some adults who love them, having some consistency, not being abused, maybe having some books around. If you are doing all of those things, you are already doing like almost everything. And so everything we talk about on top of that is like the effect sizes are just small. And so we sort of like, there's this tension where people are like the first 3 years are the most important. And that's true, because if you don't have those basic things, that's really, makes it really hard and is not setting kids up for success. And by the way, a lot of kids don't have that, and it's something we should think about. But once you have those things, then if we're like, okay, what, like, am I going to mess my kid up by sending them to daycare? Am I going to mess them up by like not rotating their toys? Or am I going to mess no, all these other things are so much less.
All right, family. There you have today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you made it this far, leave a like, comment, subscribe. We banged it out, y'all. He let me bang it out. I had to break it out of the video like 3 or 4 times today. It took a while. So that means Segovia's got to get his butt up early, about 4:30 a.m. before Mama Bear goes to work. Bang it out. That way I got the day. All I got to do really is just work out, go clean the yard when I get a chance. So that's the plan tomorrow. I'll get up early and get this video done. But there's little Segovia down there, y'all. I don't really want to put him on camera. I know 99% of you guys are just so sweet and nice, but I don't want to see that 1%, y'all. Not all my boys. So keep him right there. That's the closest he's gonna get right there. But he's chilling. He likes his bouncer. He might even let me edit. Who knows? But yeah, that's it. That's it for the day, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I don't know if we got an hour, because right now it just says 15 minutes, because I've been doing this video in little 15-20 minute increments. So we'll see what we got, y'all. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope the camera looks good too. I changed my lighting. I always had it on cold, which is like that. But today I put it on white, which I think looks a little cleaner with a different color of light, because on my other camera, right, if I had it on this color, I looked all orange, but now it looks, it looks pretty clean like that. So I think we're going to keep the white light instead of the cold light, which is more of a bluish tint. So let me know what you guys think of the camera, y'all. I'm happy with it. I'm enjoying it. I'm still learning it, but I think I got it pretty much down. I need to buy a little capture card, that way we can do 4K. So I'll get that next month, y'all. I spent a lot this month, so next month we'll get that 4K. Get the quality a little tad bit better, y'all. But anyways, this is Segovia. I'm signing out of the man cave. I hope everyone out there has a good day. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow on the next one, bright and early with my coffee, y'all. Later.